Good evening and welcome to World Championship Series Bahrain Grand Prix of F2. Today we are having, unfortunately, less amount of drivers. We are only having 8 here in the lobby at the moment. We should be getting 9. This is at the moment 6 less drivers than last week, which is a big downgrade. We were expecting a lot more drivers this week, and we are actually getting more less drivers. So by this stage we are under risk of completely needing to shut down the F2 series, which will give a lot pressure on F1, because then we have like 40 drivers in one series, and over 50% of the drivers in the league would need to cancel the whole race because they can't race. There's only 20 seats and 40 drivers, so it's starting to be a speedy race in the session. But for some reason PMP Mac has completely left the session. If he rejoins, someone rejoined the session, and now when PMP Mac joins we would have 10 drivers in the lobby. It's not enough, so by this stage we're really going to need to think about shutting down the whole series if this doesn't work out. Now we have 10 drivers. PMP Mac has joined. There's also one driver with no name, so I have no idea who he is. Team said you should be driving. No, sorry, no, you're an F1 driver. No, sorry, my bad. Well, there's 2 drivers without names, and we have 10 drivers, so it's quite hard to know who the driver is if the name is missing. Might be Dean Gamer, but I have no idea. Strict corner cutting this week in use, and why did Furley block? Team said. I have no idea. Yeah, one nameless driver is Mac, but the PMP Mac name is now visible, but the other driver is unnamed. I have no idea who he is. So well, I think we need to go. We are 3 minutes too far and we have 10 drivers, so I think we need to go before people start leaving the session. We have 9 people online, so every people, or there's 9 people online, but one's missing. So there's one must be driving from offline mode. So even the championship leader is missing the race today. So we really need to start thinking about shutting down the F2 by this state, or at least skip some rounds and well, return when there's enough drivers. But it's not looking great at the moment. I think we can go with 10 drivers, but it's not enough. We should double the amount of drivers. So yeah, we should double the amount of drivers. Well, not a great thing. The league is in a big hole at the moment. For some reason last season we had an amazing amount of drivers, and now when the game changed we have like 60% of the drivers just gone. So I don't know what's happening with league racing in general, but something is wrong in the state, and I don't know, something's really wrong. But the standings for F2 look like this. Martikainen, who is missing the race, is first. Then GT Moto is racing. YouTube Raid is also missing today's race. So Jurdy is next driver. Elpu also missing. Asian Iceman not sure. Veti is missing. So nearly everyone who raced last week are missing this week's race. And it's not looking very good. Also the weather forecast looking like this. So it's race 1 with overcast conditions, and race 2 we have clear conditions. But it's night time here in Bahrain with 10 drivers for some reason. And hopefully we get a little bit more on Sunday in F1. If we don't, we are in a really big trouble. Because if F1 can't have full lobbies, we cannot afford Formula 2. The reason is that when for example for me, schools are starting very soon in 3 weeks. I don't like these kind of sessions that I need to commentate in English for only 10 drivers. No. I need at least 15 in order to do this. And if there's no people to do this, I'm not gonna do this either. So, pretty much this event gets cancelled off if there's less than 15 drivers. Of course, in our league rules, 10 drivers is the minimum amount to go ahead with. So we are somehow in here, just with 10 drivers. It was very close to call it off completely. If we had only 8, we would not have done the race. So, yeah, these drivers are very lucky to not practice for nothing, because now we can have the race with the minimum amount of drivers in our rules accepted. With one driver not named, and yeah, we have also the Black Mercedes this week, which is a good thing. PMP Mac has left the pit lane, and the game is already lagging for him. This guy is a Ferrari driver. I have no idea who he is. What? Okay, he's now leaving the garage. That's odd. Jordy's here, and Basmatarisi with his Black Mercedes. Well, this will be a very boring session, and if even 2 drivers retire, we are having a risk that there's not even drivers left in the race. So, yeah, 10 drivers is not enough. It's like an open lobby with full race distance. Ferrari cannot be telehype because he said he will miss the event, so it cannot be telehype. But at least I can say that for me this will be an extremely boring session. And we admins really hard need to talk about shutting down F2. 2 weeks in a row not having enough drivers for calling it league racing. So Jordy is slowing down. Couple drivers had penalties for this weekend F2. The penalties will affect the race 2, so they are not affecting for this session, qualifying a race 1. But Jordy kicks off the qualifying. Let's see how the first sector goes. A little bit bouncy, but it goes. The first sector will be 128. Road behind, doing a little bit faster, not much, but a little bit faster than Jordy. And let's remember the strict corner cutting, so pretty much there's no limits. Warning is a warning. Cutting is allowed, pretty much, if the game allows it. So, but the strict is very strict, so I don't think the game allows that. Jordy going 1.5.1 and Rode is doing 1.5.2, so he has lost 2 tenths in the middle sector. Let's see how Jordy is doing. First lap times already being set, so Jordy didn't kick off the qualifying. It was Pasmatarisi and Pimpy Mac. Crossed the line with 126.6, and that's a good lap time to kick things off. And Rode crossed the line 76 milliseconds behind his teammate. Liverpool fan, we might be getting new drivers for next week. Pretty much next week Vietnam Grand Prix is the last chance for these F2 drivers to show are they active or not. Because if we have the same amount of drivers, even less next week in Vietnam, we won't be even racing. So under 10 drivers and we don't start the session. So these drivers really need to be active if they want to keep their seat in this league, or at least the secure seat. because we need to shut down the F2 for X long time. And when we have enough drivers, or active drivers enough, then we can restart F2, of course, in the situation we are right now. And we have skipped random amount of races, and we might be, for example, in France. So multiple events would be cancelled. And we are not changing the race calendar, so we are not continuing, for example, from China. And when F1 is in, for example, Britain, we are not driving in China for F2. We are going hand to hand with F1 and F2. They are both series on the same tracks. How was that not invalidated? But I mean that if F1 is in Britain, F2 must be in Britain as well. So the two series cannot be on different tracks. Only VCS Fantasy could be on different circuit with the main series. The Fantasy is the series which has the money paid drivers and also the team principals. That's a series which can run. It's running a different race calendar anyway, so it doesn't matter. That Fantasy won't cancel. We will begin it once we are sure that we have enough drivers. Of course, everyone who can get some drivers would be amazing, because this league really needs some help. We need to double the drivers we have at the moment. There's Liverpool fun in the final corner, slowing down. Mood Panda is on a lap. Let's see how he does. Cross the line. Starting his new lap now. 89 man crossed the line, goes third fastest. 3/10 away from pole at this time. But let's keep in mind that the qualifying has just started. There's 10 minutes to go. That didn't sound very good. That guy is destroying the engine of Mercedes. Is there anyone on the lap? Mood Panda is on the lap. Also GT Moto in the final sector, very close to the limits. And on the mediums, cross the line where he will go into the pits. And then it's on the Mood Panda on a lap. DRS close, turn 11, turn 12, and the deadly turn 13. Oh, there goes. I say the deadly turn 13. And end plates from both sides are gone. This is what I mean by the deadly turn 13. This is exactly what I mean. There's Mercedes coming. That's Vetti's Mercedes. No, it was possible to read me as Mercedes. But that's exactly what I mean by deadly turn 13. But with the race going out again. On a new set of soft tires, he's currently 5th fastest. There's Jurdy also on an out lap trying to improve the pace. Vetti has had an invalidated lap time already, so not gonna help much. PMP Mac is out on the softs, purple middle sector, first sector actually. For now, let's see, can he keep it? And if he can, for how long? Turn 10, that was great. Now the second to third DRS. Or it's DRS number 2 in the game, but I call it DRS number 3. And then turn 12 and 13, the deadly one. Will PMP Mac make the same mistake? No, he won't. This will be a pole lap time at the moment. Just don't cut the track or go too wide. Let's see, it's the final corner. Edge on the limits. Smooth on the power. Don't just spin. That's a valid lap time. Where this will put him 126.1. That's a good lap time. Half a second faster than Jurdy at the moment. And then there's Vetti. No, Vetti's on a low lap time, but Masper Risi has had a valid lap time as well, and is improving significantly. What can he do? 1:26.4. That's his second fastest lap time at the time, with 3/10 away from pole. Now comes Jurdy. He's also improving significantly, so the track's getting better. Let's see what Jurdy can do. It's also a valid lap time. For our heads to it, cross the line, 1:26.0, and that's provisional pole position for Jurdy. And PMP Mac is put down to second place at the time. Veti, next driver to go across the line, I guess. Yes, both Renaults are on an out lap, so Veti is a next driver to go across the line. Deadly 13. That's too far. Middle sector purple, but then he lost it at the top, and that's cost him the time, and that cost him the lap, and that's it. Everyone's on an out lap apart GT Moto. He has started his lap. But before he goes any further, let's check to turn 13. Which is deadly one, as we can see from this replay. Mood Panda lost it 3 minutes ago. This way he touched the curb there, and that's gone. End plates from both sides are gone. And that's not a good thing. GT Moto has came well to this state. He's 1.5 seconds off. Of course the tire was medium, so not surprised that he's so far back. Let's see what he can do on the soft compound. How comes the middle sector? That's on the limits with the curb. 1.4.9, that's purple middle sector. Whoa, that's a good cornering by GT Moto. Let's see what kind of exit he can get from this corner to the penultimate corner. On the limit, but on the track. And here goes all or nothing. Full throttle across the line. That's a P3. 2/10 away from pole at the time. Rose is also on a lap, but Veti is as well. And for this time, it's a valid lap time so far. Too wide in the final corner, and that's cost him a lap. Yeah, he's so far away that there's no reason to spectate. He goes last. 3.2 seconds off the pace. Road improves, goes third fastest. That's tight, top 4. That's very tight, top 4. Asian Iceman had invalidation. Mood Panda is on a lap here. 5 minutes to go in this qualifying in F2 Bahrain. And cross the line. I don't think he's even improving, and he didn't have a lap time either. 2.8 seconds off the clock. We have top 6 within the second, and then there's rest outside 3 seconds. So there's a big jump. Even 2 seconds isn't enough for Mood Panda to get the better position. Now there's no one on a lap because everyone just done a lap. And now we need to wait for the last bursts at the end of this session. Basmatarisi is preparing for his next lap with Lewis Hamilton's Mercedes. There goes the lap. This might be his last burst today because there's not much time. Macros had fucked up the penultimate corner, so he has 2 or 3 tenths to improve. Hopefully he can make it. But Basmatarisi is on a lap here with at the end of sector 1 after the long straights. First sector is using straight lines, asking for straight line speed, middle sector for technicals, and third sector pretty much only straight line speed. So the middle sector is the technical part, and first and third sector are just the parts where only rear wing and front wing matters. So the third sector, the first and third sector is the part for you if you want to maximize your pace in the straights. But the middle sector is the part where you want your car to turn very well, and you may lose some time. And Mood Panda has crashed out in the first sector, so he will start 7th. He already had issues earlier on, as we saw in this corner. The previous one from this, turn 13. And let's see what opSuomi can do. I think he's improving. No, he decides to come into the pit lane and prepare for next lap. He wasn't improving enough, so he decided to try again. So looks like Veti will go first, then goes GT Moto, Road, and Liverpool fan. 5/10 only, that would be pole position. If you were improving only half a second, that would be pole position. Half a second improvement would be pole position. So Veti goes first, GT Moto second, Road third, and Liverpool fan last but not least. And of course PMP Mac, he's actually the last man. PMP Mac's engine is not looking good. And opSuomi doesn't even have time to complete a new lap, so he fucked up his strategy. He cannot improve anymore, and he was going to pole position. If he had done the lap down, if he had finished the lap, he would be a provisional pole position at the moment. But because he didn't, now he has to stay with 5th position. Let's compare the sector times. Veti, once he reaches the end, (1:28.5). 28.5. Then comes GT Moto, 27.6 a second faster. Then comes Road, I don't even know his sector time. Doesn't matter, we are back to Veti. Veti has not improved so far. He's down with 3.2 seconds off the pace, so he just needs to get lap on the board. 6.6. Shadow Moody. He was Shadow Moody. That's a new driver for us. He's leaving and rejoining. opSuomi made it to the lap for some reason. Shouldn't be, but Veti gets a lap and goes 7th fastest, so nowhere basically. GT Moto is improving, and he goes to provisional pole position by 13 milliseconds. Road, improve? No, he doesn't improve. He loses by 1/10. Then it's Liverpool fan. He's improving by half a second. Let's see how he's coming. The pole time's up already. He improves to 8th place ahead of Mood Panda. And then it's pretty much all over this guy. Can he take it? 26.0 by 13 milliseconds. Can GT Moto by that margin get 4 extra points? PMP Mac. Oh. Okay, this game is broken. opSuomi. Middle sector is purple. Oh, that's too wide. That's off the track. That's off the track, and opSuomi has lost his pole position for packing up on the last second and now running off the track. That must feel very bad. opSuomi lost his pole position by miscalculating the gap to pole, and by this, GT Moto will be taking 4 points by the smallest possible margin, 13 milliseconds. And the 4 points come for pole position. And Basmatarisi was taking the pole position. And he got invalidated lap time. Hopefully the server did not crash again. There are a couple of drivers in the pit lane. Pimpy Mac is still in there. Hopefully the server didn't crash out completely like it did last week. That would be a mess. I think I need to take a screenshot just in case. I'm unsure we'll be having 10 or 9 drivers in the race because one driver has left the session. If there's only 9 drivers, there's a chance that we don't even do the race number 2. Because what's the point making the race 2 if there's not much drivers? We need to ask the race 2 about from the others. Well, my timer is 40 seconds in advance. This time the server did not crash. And that's a good thing. GT Motor pole position. Jurdy, Mac, Road, as an Asma, Basmatarisi, VT, Liverpool, Van Mada, and Moody. With no lap time. The smallest possible gap between pole and second place. Very soon we go here in Bahrain for the F2 race. Possibly only one race, but we will have to look into that in a short moment. Soon we go in Bahrain. It's time to go here in Bahrain International Circuit. We have 10 drivers. Or is one driver left the session? I don't know. These lights are not the right ones. The right ones are going on now. There's one coast running. There goes the predicted race strategy, and we are underway here in Bahrain. One coast has already kicked off. GT Moto is leading the race, 32nd. Asian Iceman, but Race is trying to get off the line well. With overtake running. Someone has wing damage. The predicted race strategy is there again. I think it's the medium in this case. Oh, it's PMP Mac. PMP Mac's lost it. PMP Mac has lost it. Yeah, Shadow Moody has left the session. He's driving as a coast. But he won't be in the standings afterwards. So we have only 9 drivers. GT Moto leading the pack. 30 following is in Asban, Bass with the race, VT. And now VT is losing positions, but down the inside of Mud Panda. Mud Panda in trouble. Road passing around the outside. Down the inside goes Mud Panda off-road, a little bit cutting a track. And there's yellow flag in sector 1. What is wrong? There's nothing wrong. GT Moto has the fastest lap at this state. DMP Mac into the pit lane. This game has never been such broken as it is at the moment. But let's concentrate here. Journey already getting 3 seconds. PMP Mac has left the session, and as we can see, he's going crazy. What I just saw. Well, that's some meme material right there. No DRS yet. Soon we will have it. Yeah, the game is literally broken. Here goes Mac. So now we have only 8 drivers, so I think in this case, as a league governor, I need to call that there is no race 2. If there's no more drivers, if we need to go with 8, there is no race 2. There's only race 1, no points given from race 2. Also, DRS is now enabled from this lap. And you, as an F1 fan, should know the DRS rules. If you don't, well... Yeah, PMP Max Adventures, yes. VT is now close to Mud Panda. Down the inside of turn 3 it goes. Oh, PMP Mud Panda is still back in this game. In the lead, GT Moto has passed the coast of Shadow Moody. Hopefully he's racing next week. If we even have F2 next week, that's a question. Then leave and rejoin the session if it doesn't let you to take control of your car. Then you should leave and rejoin. That's the way at least works for me. I don't know any other ways, but... I will give you one. There you go. I don't know, I didn't see the start. Or we need to have a look at the race start replay soon. But I didn't see it. He's a nice man looking for it, but he won't go for it. Let's take a race start now. Under review. So there's the turn 1. Let's see where PMP Mac is. He's battling there at the back. You are coasting so heavily. I think no one hit you. You just went straight. I don't know. You were lagging very badly. That's for sure. PMP Mac has rejoined and is now lap down in this race. Yeah, you may need to have a video evidence to report about it so we can have a new look. But the stream is not helping. So no worries about it. But I gotta say that last week Australia was much better driver-wise. There was 14 drivers in the race. It was much better than this current situation with 10 drivers is. Or actually, we have having 9 runners here. PMP Mac now rejoined. We have 9 runners here. Yeah, I need admins to admin's office after this race. Alex, when you are now in there, I need you and Furley into the admin's office after the race. In normal conditions in Bahrain, you will lose 25 seconds during a pit stop. As you can see from this graphic, there's no safety cars out on track, so it's normal condition. Veti gets overtaken by Liverpool fan in the turn 1. Let's see when we will get more pit stops. The game was predicting lap 6 or 7. I don't remember. But that was the game's prediction. 9 laps to go in this race, and like I said, there's a chance that we won't even have a race 2 today. Because the lack of drivers, there's no point watching 9 drivers racing around on the track where absolutely nothing happens to dirty air. So at least I call for no race number 2. We go with only race number 2 and race number 1. Give the points from this race and no points from the race 2. It won't affect the season later on if we continue. No one gets points from race 2, so it won't affect anything. There's just less points given from Bahrain's weekend. Is a nice man following 30 into the pit lane. And now everyone apart GT Moto has boxed. Let's see. 30 in the pits. Mediums on. Asia Nice Man, same thing, of course, mediums on. There's no reason to take the hards on this track in these distances. Veti, who is absolutely killing his engine. Into the pit. Smooth Panda. Mediums on as well. Everyone taking them, of course. Basmati Risi. Oof. Quick reactions there. Jurdy rejoining just in front of him. And now Basmati Risi has a chance to go down the inside of the straight. And he will go. But can he keep the position? That's the question. Staying there! That's a huge crash. That's a huge incident. I think Basmati Risi was a bit too hungry into that corner. And now he's keeping spinning, and I would not be surprised if game deploys a safety car here. I won't be surprised. But from my point of view, Basmati Risi was a bit too hungry going into that corner. He has destroyed his front wing and he is dropping to last place. Or he's dropping to P8. Because Shadow Moody should not be in there. GT Moto to the pits. In the halfway of the race. Tire change, of course. The only thing, no wing changes. So road into the pits. Mediums on. And there they go. Shadow Moody leading the race. Of course not pitted yet. And he's a coast, so he won't be in the results. There goes Liverpool fan. And now every driver has boxed, I think. Yes, every driver has boxed. GT Moto leading the race. Currently taking the full points. 4 points for pole position, 26 for winning the race. So it would be maximum 30 points available from this weekend. Liverpool fan has had something with Mercedes. Both Mercedes have damage, I think. At least Pasmatarisi has heavy damage. He may need to box and give other drivers some room. AC Nice Man is close to row 30 within the DRS. Let's take an AC Nice Man try to overtake for the main straight. Basmatarisi is overtaking Liverpool fan in the background, but this is more important. All power in, DRS advantage for AC Nice Man, nothing else. Will he go with the dive? Yes, he will, but he's just showing himself in the mirror. But he's now concentrating for later. I think 30's penalty is the only penalty I have seen by game's race control. Well, there's a battle at the back. Liverpool fan against Pasmatarisi. Liverpool fan will stay in front, but Pasmatarisi has a chance. Oh, of course he has the wing damage, so don't think he will recover. For the fastest lap now, when there's 9 runners, P8 is the last place in where you can get the fastest lap. P9 in this race won't give it for you because you need to be elsewhere than in last position or in top 10 if there's more than 10 drivers. And in this case you need to be within the top 8. Elsewhere than last position, P9 is the last position. When Shadow Moody gets taken away from the official stands. DRS open for AC Nice Man. Too far, unable to go down the inside yet. One, 2 for Renault is possible. Renault, by the way, I think leading the Constructor Championship as well. So Renault are really doing well with AC Nice Man and GT Moto as their drivers. Five laps to go in this race. It's really boring at the moment, so that's why I'm quiet. There's nothing happening. Veti is within 1 second of Mood Panda, but there's nothing happening. Even this chase is more interesting. This is 4-second position, so but 5 laps to go. AC Nice Man has a chance here. Now he's closer than ever. This time goes for a lunge down the inside. Overshoots it a little bit. Churdy has a chance to answer. Little contacts there. Hopefully desync not getting the way. AC Nice Man has made the move for now, and that makes the Renault duo being 1-2 at the moment in this Bahrain Grand Prix. Basmati is in the pits taking the softs, being down in P9. Or that's actually P8 because BNP Mac is racing and he is behind. So in that position, Basmati will be in official stance in P8 at the moment. That means that he could get the point. The fastest lap extra point, I mean. Because he is elsewhere than in last position. BNP Mac is in last position. Jordi has re-overtook Is nice man. I think Casey Niceman is too far this lap to try the retake. I'm not sure, his exit was great from the final corner. Jordi is not that good. This is an easy overtake. There goes down to in the turn 1. And easy peasy lemon squeezy should be this one. But I don't say it yet. Oh, they're so close. There is Asian last man behind. And Jordi has re-overtook Asian last man, but for how long? This is the only battle on track pretty much at the moment. Liverpool fan battling against Veti, slowing down for some reason. I don't know, Asian Iceman is close again. But not close enough. Down the inside of turn 13, this can't end well, and it does not. Asian Iceman's lost it in turn 13. And this is exactly what I told you. Turn 13 is deadly all the time. Asian Iceman has lost it completely. And it's awarding Red Bull P3 and P2. And now there's pretty much no battles. It's Liverpool fan against Veti here. With 3 laps to go. But there is no race 2. I messaged that by the way now, that there is no race 2 due to the lack of drivers. Liverpool fan has dropped, so Mood Panda is here. Well, Mac, if you want to take it away from GT Moto, yes you can, but you won't get an extra point for it, because you are in last place, and in our rules you need to be elsewhere than last position. And you can take it, so if you get the fastest lap, you will get it away from GT Moto, so he won't get an extra point, but you won't either. So it's just one less point shared. You don't get the extra point, but at least you get the point away from Moto. So if you want to kind of bully Moto a little bit, you can take the fastest lap away. Mood Panda is closed. It's Shadow Moody by the way, so there's no effect. So pretty much every driver is over 2 seconds away apart. Basmati has the fastest lap and he will be in P8 in the final stance. So Basmati can get the fastest lap point, because he is not in the last place. Veti had wing damage, that's unfortunate. Now Basmati is 7th in the official stance. When we need to remember that Shadow Moody it gets deleted, so top 5 is correct at the moment. Liverpool fan would be 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th, BNP Mac. Let's have a replay of... There goes AC Niceman. What was his mistake? He goes down the inside in third 13, there's no space, he touches the GURP and loses it. And Spinala is real. And he gets himself back to racing. Final lap of this Bahrain F2 event is underway. Like I said, there is no F2. There's no race 2 today due to lack of drivers. So this is the only race that decides everything for this week. And on Sunday in F1 race, some of these drivers are allowed to race because they are missing their one event now. So they are allowed to race in F1 on Sunday if they can. And of course they are always allowed to race, but especially now when they have missed a whole event due to lack of drivers. We are really taking as many as possible. Of course F1 drivers go ahead because it's F1 race, but as many F2 drivers as possible we are trying to fill in to the race. But Chitimoto will win the race. Jurdy will be 2nd and Rowe to 3rd if the penalties doesn't come handy. Cross the line, Chitimoto goes and wins the Bahrain Grand Prix, the only one today. And let's see what Jurdy can do. Cross the line, Jurdy goes by 9.5 second difference. Pimpy Mac takes the fastest lap and Rote loses 2nd place by 1 second. AC Niceman 4th. Panda will finish 5th. Liverpool fan final corner 3 seconds, that's terrible. He finishes 6th. Basmati Risi is 7th, 80 is 8th, and BNP Mac is 9th. Basmati Risi is 7th, and Veti will be 8th. Fair enough, the race was boring, so people don't even want to race the race 2 due to the lack of drivers. So this race 1 is the only race today. Unfortunate, but this is what we need to do. We have no other options. There's only 1 or 2 drivers who want it, so unfortunately you will have to come to race. How is this drive? I am extremely disappointed with this game. I am extremely disappointed. How is a Coast a driver of the day? That driver didn't even participate the whole race and he's a driver of the day. This race was full of meme material. Pimpy Mac going through the walls. Driver of the day being a driver who never even participated in the race. We admins should now talk about the F2, how we are going to do in the future. Will we continue it? Will we cancel it for as long as needed? Or how we are going to do with F2? We have no idea at the moment. BNP Mac gets the fastest lap, and by being lapped down in P9, he won't get the extra point, but he gets the fastest lap. Yeah, that's the race for today. We admins start to discuss about F2 future for now, and we will be back with you on Sunday in F1. Hopefully we get a bit more drivers on Sunday, but VCS is back in action in Bahrain on Sunday with F1 action.